Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to go over all the gear that I'm going to take with me on my Pacific Crest Trail through hike. We're just going to try to go through everything as quickly as possible, so this video is not too long and drawn out. And I'll try to just go through everything like by category, so hopefully it can run along a little bit faster. If you guys need any more information about anything I'm about to cover, please ask your questions in the comments below. But I'm just going to try to breeze through everything and make this quick. Starting with the backpack I'll be carrying. It is the ULA Ohm 2.0. I've had this for I think about 3 years now. Have really enjoyed it. It's done a really good job for me. I was able to customize the colors, which was fun, and I think it's about 38 ounces. So it's not the lightest backpack out there, but it's pretty light. It's about 64-liter capacity, and I do fill every bit of it pretty much. So I don't know how people are carrying the 40 and 50 liter size, man. Teach me your ways. But anyway, I love this backpack. It fits really comfortably. It has the S straps in the front. It fits my small torso really well. And ULA has great customer service. So I'm very happy with this backpack. And now let's just go over everything that's going to be in it. Before I get started with the gear, just real quick, I'm going to be camping over here tonight. This is a Government Canyon State Natural Area in San Antonio, Texas. Decided to come out here tonight so that I could kind of go through all the motions with setting up my tent and using all my gear tonight outdoors. And it's supposed to be low 40s, so it should be nice and cool. But I've used all my gear before in past hikes, and it's always worked really well for me. So I don't expect there to be any surprises other than my sleeping pad, and I'll go over that here in a minute. But okay, so let's go over everything. It's all laid out here. Everything that you see on the table is coming with me except for the plant and the lantern. These are just for ambiance later tonight. Okay, so starting with my tent that I'll be bringing, I'm going to be bringing the Z-Pax Duplex. It's a blue one, and I'm going to set this up later and show you guys everything set up. But it's a Z-Pax Duplex, and I've been using that ever since I started backpacking in 2019. Absolutely love it. This is actually a new one that I got in 2024 because the other one was basically falling apart. The Dyneema was starting to shred and rip and tear, and so it was time to, and the zippers weren't working anymore, so I had to spend the money and get a new one. And then I also did get the footprint to use for it. Some people opt not to bring it. I've done that in the past also, but I really want to protect my investment. And I also use this lightweight footprint as a sheet for taking a break. So I'm going to put it back there because I actually carry that on the outside of my backpack. But I like having the tent footprint because it does serve multiple purposes. As far as the stakes go for the tent, I'm using 6 of the MSR groundhogs. Those are the regular size, and I really like them a lot. They seem to hold in all kinds of different soils, substrates, and all that. And you know, instead of fussing with all those little tiny ultralight ones that I use that would break and bend and not work right, I'm just going to opt to bring what's been working for me. And then these 2 shepherd's hooks I just use on the side lines of the tent on both sides that just, you don't really need like a whole lot of support. The bag I'm using is just a recycled grocery bag that I picked up on one of my trips, and it works really well for carrying everything. So I can't see spending money on a stuffed sack for that when that bag's working just fine. Moving on to my pad and sleeping bag. I went back and forth a lot on this, and this is one of the reasons I'm out here tonight testing everything. I wanted to bring my Nemo Tensor Wide, which is what I brought in 2023 when I hiked. I have no complaints about that, other than it weighs a lot more than this current system that I'm looking at. This is my Neo Air. It's a Thermarest Neo Air, and it's a short pad. So it is not your standard length, and I'll show you later how I have it set up for me, but it only weighs, it's like less than 7 ounces, and I have used it before on trips, and it's comfortable, but it's, you know, it's pretty narrow. I don't know if you've used one in the past, you know what I'm talking about. You got to balance on it. I am pint size. I'm only 5 feet tall, and I did lose a lot of weight, so I'm hoping it helps it feel more comfortable for me than it did in the past. Then I also have 2 pillows because I am carrying so much less weight in the way of the mattress. I don't feel bad about having the 2 pillows. And the reason I have the second one is because I have had an issue with acid reflux in the past with trail diet and I don't know, I just don't want to have any problems pop up, so I'm going to bring an extra one so that I can elevate my head better. And I will show you again later how I have everything set up so you can see what I'm doing with that system, but see how that goes. And then as far as my sleeping bag goes, I have the Z-Packs Classic, and it is a 5 degree, but I think it reads more like a 10 degree, and they don't even make the 5 degree in Z-Packs anymore for the sleeping bags. And it is kind of a mummy bag, but it also acts like a quilt, I think. And you can lay it out pretty flat except for the toe box area. And so I love the sleeping bag. I don't want to have to replace it. I know eventually I will have to, but I definitely want to try to find something that's pretty similar or the same when I have to replace that again. I've already gone over the footprint that I use for brakes, and I can also use that for cowboy camping as well. I have the Thermarest pad here for break time, but also using in the tent and also part of my sleep system. I'll show you how I have that set up later. And this is cut down. I do not have a full length one, so this is only 6 parts. I'm not sure how long the full size one is, but I've cut off a lot of it so it weighs less and I don't need the whole thing. Okay, moving on to the next category. As far as my food system goes, it's very basic. And I am going to be cold soaking, so I'm not bringing a stove to get started unless we find out there's going to be any crazy weather patterns in the beginning that's cold and stormy, and might be safer to have a stove with me at that time. But in the past, when I've had the stove, I've usually sent it back home pretty quickly. But so the plan is to start with a cold soaking system, but if I have to change that throughout the trip, I will, for safety's sake and possibly comfort's sake, like in the Sierra or Washington when it starts to get colder. But my food bag is just a generic Walmart reusable bag, and it's pretty tough. I think polyester blend, super lightweight. I've used that for many trips. I mean, the durability is okay. And if it starts to break down, I'm not opposed to just buying a regular food bag as I go, but I just trying to save some money. I'm happy to put that money into other gear items right now. So we'll replace that later as we need to. But for now, we'll get started with it. And then I have the Talenti jar for the cold soaking, and then the lid. And that way I can get things rehydrating and secure really well in my backpack as I'm hiking along, so it's ready for me when I get to camp. And then I have my Nalgene bottle, which I use for my my Kachava shakes, my nutrition shakes and coffee drink. It's got the wide mouth on it so that I don't make a mess with all the powders and all that. And I really enjoy having that. It's easy to clean too. And then I've got my Tokes Titanium short spoon, which is really cute, and it fits inside the Talenti jar, and I can put the lid on it securely. So everything fits together really nice in here, which is great. So it compacts down in size. And that's it for the food system. For my electronics, the phone I'm bringing is the iPhone 16 Pro Max, and I'm using that to record right now, so we won't see that. And I have the Anker 20,000 milliamp that I've never replaced yet. I've had this one since I did the PCT in 2019, and for every other trip I've taken, and it's always worked really well. I haven't had any problems with it. I'm not quite sure what to replace it with yet, if I want something that charges a little quicker, but it still works really well. It holds a charge well, and it seems like I get the right amount of usage out of it between stretches. So I really just don't want to change it yet until I know exactly what I want to get and what's going to be worth the extra money to spend, because that's it's a lot of money to replace that sort of thing when this is still working really well. And then I've got the charging cords that go with the charging block, and this is just an Anker. I think that's a 30-watt charger. And I have the headphones for my phone. I have the NU25 Night Core headlamp, which I absolutely love this. It works so well, and it's just got the right settings on it. The battery seems to last for a really long time. Doesn't seem like I ever have to charge it up between stretches either, even like a 5-6 day stretch, it's still working really well. And so I really do like it. And it does have the red light mode on it as well. And Nightcore reached out to me and asked me if I would review the NU27. I love this headlamp so much. I'm curious to see what the differences are. So I told them, yes, I would like to see it and review it. So they're going to send me one so that I can compare these two. And we'll take it out on a fun little night hike and see what the differences are, hopefully before I leave for the PCT And then I've got the Garmin InReach Mini that I'll be bringing along. And then I'm just carrying all my electronics in this quart size freezer bag. All right, let's go over all the miscellaneous pieces of gear that I have. And let's start with my umbrella. This is a Z-Pax Lotus. I just replaced this one, needed it. The other one, the material starts to wear down after a few years, and it was starting to look like a dark gray color and kind of transparent. So unfortunately, that coating on here does wear off after a while. But I love my sun umbrella, and I would not change that for anything going out there. I've used it so much on my hikes. As you know, if you followed me in the past, I do love having my umbrella with me. For the water system, I'm going to be using the full-size Sawyer Squeeze, and then I have the coupling under here. There we go. The coupling that goes with that and helps it to attach to the K-Knock bag and the water bottle that I'm filtering into. And then I can use this little piece of cloth for helping to catch sediment if it's extra dirty water collection. So that way it can help to keep sediment from getting into the Sawyer filter. And then I have the 2-liter K-Knock bag that I'll be using, and everything gets put inside this little mesh bag here. And I always have this little clippy thing. I put it on the outside of my bag, but I make sure I keep the clippy thing on there so it doesn't accidentally fall out of my bag. I also bring 3 1-liter bottles with me from the beginning, so I'll have a 5.5-liter capacity, including my 16-ounce Nalgene bottle. For my bathroom needs, I'll be carrying the Kuhl Cap P-Reg, and then I also have this Deuce Spades trowel that I'll be carrying, and then I just carry all my bathroom items inside this quart-size freezer bag. And then, let's see, where do we want to go? The NioFlume bag. So that is to act as a packed liner inside of my pack so that I can, in case I have to do some water crossings or it's a super rainy day, I can protect all my essentials from getting wet. And then I also have this auto detailing towel that I'll be bringing. And this has come in handy so many times on the trail, but I use it for wiping down condensation in the morning when I'm inside the tent, wiping off the outside of the tent. I can use it to dry myself when I'm in the public shower areas at campgrounds. It's just come in handy so many times, and it's just the perfect microfiber material that wrings out really well to where it's almost dry, and you can keep using it over and over again, even when it's damp. And then I have my Z-Pax rain cover that goes over my backpack. And then I have my glasses, which I'll fit inside this old Crystal Light container. I don't even know if they sell those anymore, but I've had this one for years, and I keep this clippy on it. So again, it can clip to my backpack so I don't accidentally lose them or they slide out of my backpack, because I do keep those on an outside pocket. And so I've got my prescription glasses that I keep inside this microfiber towel that I also use to clean them. And then my reader glasses, which I'm going to replace with much lighter ones before I leave for the trip. And all that fits inside here nicely. This is my medical/repair kit. I'll lay everything out if you're interested in seeing what's inside here. But I got it down to pretty lightweight, so it's for just things that I need finally. But I had to take some things out of there. It was too much. This is just my personal care kit. Yeah, toothbrush. I'm gonna have toothpaste dots in here. If I don't have time to make the toothpaste dots, I'm probably just gonna buy one of those small travel-sized tubes of toothpaste, but I'm gonna try that again. I don't like the ones that I bought because they were so strong. They made everything smell like spearmint in my bag. I didn't like that. I'm going to try to make my own. And then I have some earplugs in here inside this green bag. I've got floss, and I've got some hair ties in here. I've got these baby fingernail clippers, which are much smaller and more lightweight. And that's really it for here. Nothing exciting. I just carry that inside the mesh bag. My neck knife is the MT Knives neck knife, and it's pretty lightweight, super razor sharp. Been on every trip with me so far. These are items that I'm not going to be starting with, but I'll send them ahead to areas where I'll need them. The ice axe and the Cthulhu microspikes will probably be sent to Paradise Valley Cafe, so I have them for the Mount San Jacinto area. And I'll pay attention to what's going on as far as what they're recommending as I get closer to that area, and then send them to Paradise Valley Cafe if I need them. And then they'll be possibly needed for the Wrightwood area, again, depending on snow and recommendations when I get there. And then I'll have everything sent to Kennedy Meadows South so that I will have them for the Sierra. I'll have the microspikes, the ice axe, plus the little baskets that you see there that go on my trekking poles to help with traversing through snow. I'm going to go over these worn items here in a little bit, but first let's go over the wearables that I'm going to keep inside my backpack. I'm going to keep them inside this very lightweight nylon bag. It's pretty tough. And I can also turn this into an extra pillow if I want to with my extra clothing items. All right, here are all the worn items that were inside of my nylon bag here. Let's start with our sleepwear. So I have the Under Armour leggings that are 3.0 cold gear. And then I have Arc'teryx thermal layer top that I wear to bed. And then I also, scroll down here, sorry about that. I use these for my sleeping socks, but those are also just like extra pair of socks in case I need them as well. But usually they're just used for sleeping. And then I have the Mountain Hardwear Ghost Whisper puffy jacket. And this is a size large. I wanted to change it out for something a little less bulky. I have lost 30 pounds and, you know, just trying to cut down where I can. But, you know, it really didn't make that much of a difference in weight. And they're so expensive. I just don't want to spend the money on that right now. So I'll make do with the large and maybe look into getting something a little bit less bulky for me later on. But it still serves its purpose well. For my rain gear, I have the Outdoor Research Helium 2 rain jacket, and I will be using a rain skirt instead of rain pants. And I find that the rain skirt has multiple uses as well, which I really like in a gear item. And this thing barely weighs anything. This is Z-Pac's rain skirt. I can use that underneath my sleeping pad for extra protection if I need to. I can wrap it around my legs while I'm sleeping if I'm feeling a little extra cold. I also use it while I'm hiking, like in the mornings when there's a lot of condensation on plants and all that, and everything's getting you wet and it's cold. You can just use that to get started, and also acts as like a windbreaker on your legs, just like rain pants, but it's a lot less heavy. And then I also carry a windbreaker. This is the Patagonia Houdini, and I absolutely love this. Is another one of my favorite gear items that I definitely want to have with me. It's just that perfect temperature for hiking. It's a super lightweight, but it keeps me just warm enough as I'm hiking, and it's breathable, so you're not sweating inside of it. Unfortunately, using the rain jacket as a windbreaker doesn't work for me. I get too warm inside of it, and I don't like it for that purpose. And this thing barely weighs anything, so one of my favorite gear items. And then I'm bringing a short sleeve shirt because I like hiking in short sleeves once in a while, or a lot. Moving along to my buff, I have 2 buffs that I'll be carrying with me. And this is in place of using a knit cap. A lot of people carry a cap with them, and I prefer to use the buff because it has multiple uses. I like to use it on my head, and I also like to use it as a mask while I'm sleeping if I need it. And I can also use it to cover my ears if I'm in an extra noisy camp, having trouble sleeping. So for me, it has extra uses, and I like carrying that to keep my head warm instead of the knit cap. And I also have a hooded puffy jacket that I wear over top of that. And then there's my extra socks that I wear. And I do have 1 pair of extra underwear I'll be bringing, but I forgot to put that in this lineup here. All right, last but not least, this is all the wearable items that I'll be wearing on my body. Let's start with the shirt. Is going to be the Columbia button down. This is the PFG, and it's a vented, I think they call it a fishing shirt, but it's really lightweight material. I like it because it breathes well, and I've really enjoyed hiking in that versus the sun hoodie. This, I feel like I can get so much more airflow inside of it, and I just feel like I'm suffocating inside the hoodie. And I know a lot of people prefer the hoodies for the protection around the face and the neck and all that, but you know, I've got my buff bandana that I use for that, and also my hair that I put over my ears and all that. But I like wearing these. I'm probably going to be wearing a different color shirt, but in the same brand as that one. And then I'm going to be wearing shorts a lot. These have a liner inside of them that I'm using in place of underwear. But I'll be alternating these shorts with these leggings. So I'll be bringing the leggings as well. So I have both options to use. And then I'm going to be using this Patagonia utility pack. And that's just for, obviously, convenience sake and having things easy to get to that you need. Also importantly, keeping really important items attached to your body all the time when you put your backpack down or go into towns to do errands. You always have your money, your ID, your phone. You can put your Garmin inside here if you're, you know, happen to get in a car for a hitch or something like that. But I really like having this with me. It's so convenient. I carry my little meds in there, my chapstick, just things you want to have easy access to. And then I'm bringing my prescription sunglasses. And let's see, let's move along here to the feet. So I'm going to wear the Injunji toe socks. And then over top of that, I'm going to wear the Darn Tough sock combination. I've been doing that since 2019 and I've never had a blister. I find it to be extremely comfortable. My feet don't sweat a lot. I'm just going to keep doing that system because that works really well for me. And then I'm going to be using the Dirty Girl gaiters. These are new ones that I got this year. And then for my shoes, I'm going to be using the Ultra Lone Peak 9s. So far, I really like them a lot. These are pretty brand new. They're just a little dirty because I've been using them for training. For the insoles, I use the Super Feet greens inside there. But yeah, that combination seems to work really well for me. I'm going to carry my second buff stays on my body or on my backpack. And again, multiple uses. I really like having that. And then my sun gloves, Bass Dash. Look at the flamingos. Cute. So, and then I've got my trekking poles. And my trekking poles are the same ones that I've started with. I've never replaced these yet. I'm missing a tip on one of these, but they're still functioning and working well. And this is the Black Diamond Ergo Cork trekking pole. And those are also for holding my Z-Packs duplex tent up. All right, let's get all this stuff put back in my backpack so I can go for my afternoon training hike. It's late afternoon and I'm probably gonna go up about 45 minutes and then turn around 45 minutes, so about an hour and a half training hike. And this is pretty steep, rocky terrain here, so I love to come out and get a quicker workout done. Okay guys, I've returned from my training hike and I got back here to set up my tent and my sleep system so I could show that to you before it gets dark. So, all right, let's show you how I put this together. Now, obviously, it's all going to hinge on how this works out for me tonight, sleeping with it. I have tried it at home and it seemed okay, but I didn't sleep a full night with it. So basically, I start with I've got my rain skirt here. If I'm not using it for anything else, it acts as like a secondary protective layer for my pad. So I lay that down. And then I'm using my backpack. I took everything out of it so that there's nothing inside of it. There's nothing sharp on the outside of it that's going to hurt my sleeping pad. And then I stuffed my first pillow that I have all the way up in there. So that's already given it some loft there. And then I have this Thermarest Z-Lite pad here, and it's attached with my strap so that it won't slide around, which is great because that's going to keep my pillow in place and also provide extra loft. The only thing I might do, I don't know, because it's right against my back, I might put a little bit of Velcro here because I have Velcro there, and that would keep it from sliding around. But my shoulder fits in this space here and actually was pretty comfortable at home, so it gave me somewhere to put my shoulders. Yeah, just we're gonna try it out tonight, see how it works. And then down here at the foot, I'm gonna have my feet hanging off just a little bit, but you know, there's usually extra clothing. I'm also going to use my shoes to put here and then on the other side there, and that just also, it elevates it slightly, but it keeps it from sliding, especially if you're on a slopey camping spot. All right, guys, well, that's going to do it for my gear video / camping trip. But yeah, I'm glad you guys joined me today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and
I'm just gonna sit here and relax the rest of the evening. Just made a little bit of hot chocolate, just a little bit of coffee in it, just for flavor, but not enough to keep me up, hopefully. And I'm interested to try out my sleep system tonight, see how that's gonna go. It's starting to get pretty chilly out here, so I'm getting ready to, oh, listen. That's an eastern screech owl. I've been listening to this male and a female going back and forth for quite a while now, so pretty cool. You guys take care. Make sure you subscribe to follow my PCT journey if you're not yet, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.